Hello, hello, everyone. Let me see. Okay. Okay, let me broadcast this, and we're going to wait for a couple more people to join us. So funny, no matter how many times I do this, I always get super nervous right before I go live because technology freaks me out. Okay, so I'm trying to go live with this, but it's all Spanish. Ever since I've been in Spain, my browser has been in Spanish, so. Okay, so we're just gonna give it a couple more minutes for people to join us on this training. Welcome everyone. I can see you guys in the comments. Scott, what's up? Hey, Delicia. Hey, Joanne. Do a call to, oh, all right, go crush it, man. Bring in that business. Okay, so let me figure out how to do this stream. And then I'll be right with you guys. So I don't know how to do this. I think I'm going live on my page right now. Share on a page. Okay. Cat how. All right. This is Zoom I'm using. So you can do webinars like this, and then you can live them as well. So I'm gonna try that, give it a go. Never done that really before. I did one where Tom and I were live together, but that was a little bit different. All right, so who have we got on here? Andy. Andy. Darren, yeah. Hey, Hannah, if you are here and you can hear me, just give me a yes in the chat box. Everyone, I don't have my earplugs. I have no idea where they are, so I don't know if, okay, all right, everyone can hear me? Amazing, sweet. All right, well, we may as well kick things off. I think I've set things up properly. We shall see how things go. Well, thank you everyone for joining me on this kind of an impromptu training session. And as a little bit of a background story for you guys, about 4 months, maybe less than that, maybe 3 months ago, I was getting asked by a lot of people around how to make their online programs successful, especially some of the people that I had worked with through my own programs, and they were getting at a stage where they had built up their agencies, and so this is the academy, and a couple people were now kind of going like, okay, what's next? And that's a good thing, guys, right? A lot of people go, well, why would you have, I get asked this a lot. It's a really funny question, actually. A lot of people say, why would you have, if your agency is so good, or if your other businesses are so good, why would you do this? Which is a really interesting question, because who has heard of the saying that the average millionaire has 7 income streams? Has anyone heard this, or is this like a Kiwi thing? Yeah. So it's a really interesting question, because it's like, well, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a serial entrepreneur as well, you're never going to be content just doing the same thing your entire life. Like, that's just not going to work. And then B, there is something to be said where you are diversifying your risk, right? That is actually a very intelligent and smart thing to do. Especially if one of your businesses relies on a platform that you don't control. And regardless of that, so I'm talking about Facebook here, but any industry. So you look at the taxi industry, for example. I bet you those guys had no idea what was coming with Uber, right? And they weren't prepared for it, and now they're relying on the governments to protect them. And that's only going to last for so long, right? You can only, technology is always going to disrupt industries. And so there's something very, I think, dangerous, personally, in putting all your eggs in one basket and not diversifying your risk with other income streams. And that could be property, it could be Bitcoin, it could be, it doesn't have to be an online program, but this is what was happening. So people were building up their agencies and going, okay, what's next? You know, what can I do? I have this expertise and this knowledge. And so I decided about 3 months ago to roll out a program to help some people roll some stuff out. And as some of you guys may know, one of the other projects I've been working on is a female refresher spray that I'm launching with my sister. And that just started to get really intense. And I had to basically, I sold the training, then I had to refund everyone. And I just had to set boundaries for myself because I knew I was going to end up really, really exhausted from the whole everything. So here we are now, 3 months later. I now found myself in a good position. We've set some stuff up in the other business where I'm not really required anymore, which is always good. And now I'm wanting to share with you guys and help you guys to roll out your own online programs, or for those of you that are thinking about it or have tried already before. So Brian, yes, diversify your assets, always. And so let me ask you guys a question just so I can get a feel for who's on this training session with me right now. How should I do this? Tell me, have you, okay, hands up if you have already tried to launch a program. So just type a Y or something if you've already tried. So a few years ago. A few years ago, Karen. Okay. Kind of tried, Kaylee. By the way, guys, my face is melting. It's like 30 degrees here in New Zealand, so you'll have to forgive me. It's about to get sweaty, hot and sweaty in this training session. All right, Kaylee, kind of tried HP. In a small way. What does that mean? In a small way, like you just dipped your toe in there and you were like, ooh, no, taking it back. Can't get traction, Jessica. Not yet. I've done all sorts of entrepreneur stuff. Launching a new program. Cool. Zach, awesome. I have 2 clients. One has launched successful program. Like to try soon. Lost a ton of money. Okay, yeah. Who here is on this training call because you are working with coaches or you're working with online course entrepreneurs and you're actually just trying to get better results for them? I think most of you guys, yeah, John, most of you guys would be here because you're trying to do this yourself, right? I just like seeing Jason. Oh, Canada. Looking to learn Facebook ads. I don't know if this is, well, I don't think this is the right training though, Eric. Working with a coach to launch my own freelance biz. Someone else, just trying to, okay. All right, cool. Scott Sullivan. Trying to, just you. I don't know what that means. Okay, cool. So there's a different mix of you guys on this call. Some of you guys have already tried to roll out your own online programs. And then some of you guys have essentially are becoming aware. I hope that you are becoming aware that this is a big industry and you're interested in seeing if this is something that can work for you. And then I think a small percentage of you guys are here because you're working with coaches or you're working with people selling online courses, and you're thinking, how can I get better results for their client campaigns, right? So that's cool. Okay, so we're going to kick into the training, and before we do, I'm going to start off by talking to you about the biggest mistakes that I made when I launched, and hopefully that helps some of you guys, especially those that have already launched. Before I do, I want to hear in the comments if you were going to launch actually scrap that, what is your personal income target? So what is your personal income revenue target? So there's lots of things I could ask about your goals and the ideal lifestyle that you want, and that includes family, relationships, all of that, but those are a little bit arbitrary. So the easiest thing for me to sort of get my head around is a monetary figure, right? That's why I'm asking that, right? But not saying money is everything here, guys, right? Okay. So 800 per month. So per month, okay? So 800, and is that 800,000 per month or per year? So 5,000, Emeka, that should be pretty easy to hit. Kaylee, 10K, 150K. So per month, $50,000 per month. Yes, John, woo! 50,000, 10,000. 15, 50, lots of 50,000. That's awesome. 5,000, 50 to 80,000, 70,000. Cool. Okay, so guys, at the end of this training, by the way, I'm going to share with you guys a link that it's a little sort of mindset wealth tactic that I actually learned from someone I really, really respect called Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I'm going to share a link around how to create something called a goals video. And that's something that I've been doing recently, and it works so freaking well. It's scary. So if you have these kind of lofty income targets like $50,000, $100,000 per month, one of the foundations to getting that going and to being successful is obviously your mindset, right? As woohoo as that sounds. So I'm going to share with you guys a link to some special training afterwards so that you guys can apply this really cool tactic. And it's kind of like a vision board, but on steroids, essentially. So stick through the training, guys. Stick through, and I'll share that link with you guys. Okay, so we've got a lot of $50,000 goals, a lot of $100,000 goals. If you were going to make $50,000 a month in personal revenue, so that's not gross in your business, or $100,000 in revenue per month, what would you do with that? What would you do? Like, what would be one of the, like, let's say next month you made $100,000 in the month in your personal revenue. What would be the first thing you would do with that? Pay off student loans, buy a house, quit job, travel. Breathe. I like that, Jessica. Lots of loans. Holy crap. This is like one of the things I'm going to tell my kids when they grow up. Don't bother with university, man. Unless you want to be a doctor. Just go take an online course and build a business. Pay off debt, buy land, invest. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, lots of debt. Okay, well, good. Yeah, so you have breathing room. Made $39 million in 4 years revenue before. Well, Jai, you should be teaching this training then. That's awesome, man. Good for you. Go to spa with my girls on a private jet. Yes, Jody. All right, cool. So it's important the reason I'm asking you this, guys, is because a lot of people, surprisingly, I think it's a little less in the entrepreneurial space, but maybe you guys can relate with this. A lot of people that you speak to in day-to-day world, and I actually struggle nowadays to go to social events or meetings where it's not necessarily and even sometimes entrepreneurs I struggle with, especially those that are just getting started out, because the mindset is like totally different thing. But most people that are in corporate jobs, for example, they don't even know their goals in life. Like they have no idea. And so they, they buy lotto tickets, and I used to do this. So, I'm not like trying to judge or anything like that, but I want to win lots of money, or I want to make lots of money, or that's the goal, but they don't actually know what they want out of that, or what that's actually going to do for them, and why they want those things that they want. So it's really important to get to the root of that. And that comes down to the foundations of mindset. So that's why I was kind of going there. Anyways, let's kick it off, guys. So, okay, so we've basically got mostly people in here that have tried to launch an online program, and you guys have goals of around $10,000 to $50,000 a month. So when I was first getting started out in the online course space, I kind of first came across it, and it was a really foreign concept to me, because I was like, holy crap, what is this? Like, this is insane. People are buying this, and then you start to do the numbers, and you're like, oh my God, you only have to sell 1,000 to make $1 million. Holy crap, there's whatever, 6 billion people on the planet. This should be really, really easy. And I was a Facebook marketer. I had an agency. I was really good at Facebook ads. So I was like, yeah, I have expertise. I have what it takes to sell a program. So surely, and I know how to run ads. So a lot of people that start courses don't know how to even run ads. So it's like, I've got this in the bag. Like, this is mine. I'm going to be really successful with it. And I ended up taking courses to teach me how to roll out my own course, because there was a lot of things that I didn't understand, like the membership sites and how to launch, because I kept hearing everywhere these stories about launches that were happening where people were making like, I don't know, like $400,000 over a weekend, or even just $20,000, someone launching and making $20,000. And I kept hearing this, and I understood that there must have been some kind of formula behind that, or some kind of process to launching a program properly. And so I was taking all of these courses, and here's what I did. Okay, so I'm sharing my story, not because I'm trying to little violin here, but because there are 3 things that blew up in my face that I didn't do, and that I didn't realize was really, really important. That meant that my launches were not successful, my initial launches, okay? So this is why I'm sharing my story. So the first mistake that I made, and for those of you that have heard me talk about this before, have heard this before, but what I did was I really focused on my branding, and I focused on pretty websites, and I focused on logos, and I focused on really nice videos. Someone made a comment yesterday on when I posted this training session on, I think it was in Rapid Fire, the group. Someone was, I was talking about how, I've scaled my business and I've made over $4 million in, that's not my personal income, just FYI guys, but gross revenue in about 1.5 years. And someone commented, yeah, and the membership portal is like the worst thing ever. And I was like, exactly. I was trying to fit in the word fuck in there. Exactly. I was like, hell yeah, that's the whole fucking point. That was the #1 biggest mistake. Well, it was one of the biggest mistakes I made when I first launched, was I focused too much on the pretty things or the pretty side of things, when in reality, it doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't matter. As long as your content is good and you actually can solve a specific problem, people are going to put up with PDF sheets. Trust me, I've seen some people selling PDF sheets delivered via the shittiest CRM systems make fortunes, okay? So your membership, yes, it's nice to have beautiful membership portals and all of that stuff, but it doesn't matter. So most people that get started, this is the biggest mistake that they make, is they focus on the irrelevant stuff. Your website, your logo, your membership portals, all of that stuff is the last stuff you should be building. You shouldn't even be touching any of that until you've sold it through. So does that make sense, guys? So you shouldn't build a logo for yourself. You shouldn't build a membership site. You shouldn't build any of that stuff until you've successfully sold it through. But the opposite tends to happen. And that's what exactly what I did. And I actually spent, I think all up it was around $14,000 to $15,000. And what that was like, I was getting people on Fiverr. Here's what I was doing. Fuck, oh my God, that was exhausting. Like, I'm exhausted just thinking about it. It was a Facebook ads course, okay? And I'll talk about that in a minute. That was my second mistake. It was a Facebook ads course. And what I was doing was I was recording a video. So let's say it was about like the Pixel. I was like, okay, so here's, you know, the Pixel, da 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 da. And then, no, I was writing it all out in a script. I was writing a whole script about the Pixel. I was then going on Fiverr and paying one person to animate it. And then I was paying another person to, you know, audio, what's that word? Not caption it, but yeah, to record the audio for it. And there was a guy, it was like this dude, voiceover. It was this dude doing a voiceover, because I didn't like the sound of my own voice. I couldn't stand the sound of my own voice. So I was paying two different people to create videos, and each video, each like 4 or 5 minute video was costing me about $300, like $200 to $300 to produce. And of course, this is a Facebook ads course. So how many videos do you think you have in there? Because Facebook ads can go on and on and on. Even in FATC, it's like, fuck, we have a to-do list of shit we still need to do, you know? Because it just never fucking ends with Facebook. So I must have had like 30 or 20 videos. I had invested a lot of money in just the video production. And then I had this brand. It was called Social Up Lab. Don't ask me. I'm really bad at branding. But it was called Social Up Lab, and I paid someone to do a logo for it. I paid someone to build a website for it. And I was doing all these pretty little things everywhere. And I spent about, 3 or 4 months like hustling hard, producing all of this content. And I'll get to it. Don't worry. I'll talk about it in a minute, okay? I produced all of this content, and I had this beautiful course, and it was full of high-tech videos. And then I launched it, and basically nothing. It was like crickets. I'd spent $14,000 to $15,000, and I made less than $1,000. So here's my question, and I'll cover this whole sold it through thing. Those of you that have launched, has this happened to you? This is what happens, right, when you have a really shitty launch. It's a very awkward situation because you you get your Facebook groups going, you've researched how to set it up, so you know that you need this private Facebook group, and you're gonna have weekly calls with your students and group sessions. And then you have a launch and literally 3 people buy. And it's so fucking awkward. I mean, I think it's good for them. Like, if I was a student, I'd be like, yes, I have like almost private coaching at this stage. But for you, it's like mortifying, right? So it was like that. You had none. That's actually better than 1, KR. In many ways, it is there's pros and cons. At least when you get 2 or 3, you potentially are going to get some good testimonials, which will get you more traction later on. But it is extremely awkward when you launch and there's like 2 people in your group sessions or 2 people in your Facebook group. So you really don't need a Facebook group at that stage. You just need WhatsApp. So that's kind of what happened. So what I mean by I sold it through, sell it through, is that I had built the course before I knew how to sell it, okay, which is the wrong way to go about things. You need to sell your course before you build it, okay? And the things that will happen is once you sell it, this is normally how it waterfalls down, is once you sell your program, then you hustle. You get in, I hate that word, but you know, you head down, bum up, create the content, and you do it week by week with your students, and you work with them as a group like that. And then once you have the content and you have your membership site, so the membership site is the first thing you would do once you sell it through, then you look at your branding and your website and all of that stuff, okay? And only then. So that stuff is actually the last things on the list. Now, not to say this though, if you know what your brand is going to be called, or if you know what your program is going to be called, it's always a wise idea to just reserve the domain, okay? So just do that, just to save that domain for yourself in case someone else buys it and then tries to resell it to you. Okay, so that's what happened to me. So I had this beautiful Facebook ads course, about 30 videos that each cost me $300. And then guess what? I sold 2 or 3 people into it, and it was so awkward. I ended up giving free spaces to a lot of people because I just needed more people in there. So I just contacted a bunch of friends and gave them spots in there and gave it away through other Facebook groups. I was like, hey, who wants in? And then what do you think happens? Because I was doing a Facebook ads course, what do you think happened to my videos after like about 2 weeks? Maybe even less. Can you guys guess? Yeah, they were pretty much irrelevant. They were out of date. They were almost out of date by the time I had launched. So not everything, but it was just a really deflating experience because I hadn't made any money. I'd spent a lot of money. And now I was in a position where I had to reinvest to remake these videos, and because things were out of date. So at this stage, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to record these videos. I just need to get over the fact that this is the sound of my voice. It is what it is. And now the good news for those of you that have that fear or that are uncomfortable with your own voice, you get used to it. Like totally 100%. I don't even notice when I hear my voice now. It's not like it doesn't even register. Whereas I remember in the beginning, it was like the most cringe-worthy thing ever hearing my voice. It was like, oh, don't like that. So you get over that. So don't let that be a fear stop you from making your videos, guys, because what I did was really expensive. Okay, so we sell it through first. We sell our program. Second biggest mistake that I did when I launched my program, kind of alluded to it a little bit. Did anyone pick up on it? I don't know why I'm drinking hot tea on this hot day, but I just was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, the technology is going to crap itself. My Wi-Fi is going to, I don't know, I just needed a tea. Hot tea is good all year. Well, just consider yourself lucky you can't smell my armpits right now. Just kidding. It is very hot though. Okay, I did it for 30 days and then 30 days. Yeah, John, well done, man. And Facebook ads. So yeah, build the program first was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, I kind of alluded to it. I would have been surprised if one of you guys had picked up on it, to be honest. How many hours were you putting in each week to create the content? Oof. It's hard to say, Aaron, because at that stage, I had I mean, he must have been 6 months old. He was really young. I had a newborn, and so that takes up time for sure. And then I was also running the agency. So I was working crazy hours, insane amount of hours when I decided to do this. So yeah, it was, it's hard to say how much specific, okay? Too specific. Okay, we're getting close. Actually, it's the other way around. So here's the other mistake I see a lot of people making out there with their programs or their courses. You are trying to be too broad. So we're going to play some exercises here, okay? And hopefully this gets you thinking like, oh, this is what I need to do. So I rolled out a Facebook ads course because and I think it was like called Facebook ads for entrepreneurs. What does FATC stand for? I don't even know what FATC stands for. Oh, Facebook ads that convert. Oh my God, I'm so original. Oh. So the first one was like Facebook ads for entrepreneurs. And I was like, yeah, I know Facebook ads. I can help entrepreneurs. I can help people with their ads. It's my expertise, right? And everyone kept telling me, you know, what is your expertise? Like, you have to be an expert. And I was like, Facebook ads is what I'm really good at. And bearing in mind, like this was, you know, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. So the space was a little bit different as well. That doesn't sound like a long time ago, but Facebook is not even that old as a business, right? So it's light years away. And the mistake that I made here is that kind of shit doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work unless your name is Ty Lopez, Tony Robbins, or Frank Kern. All right, let's just get this right out the window. Unless you have a large following or a large audience or a shit ton of credibility and a powerful brand behind you, going really broad is never going to work for you. And that's exactly what I did. I went really broad. I was like, I'm going to help people with their Facebook ads. Why doesn't it work? Do you guys know why it doesn't work? I didn't have testimonials. I don't know if I'm saying your name right though. Jeannie. So I'll get around to when I successfully launched. And FYI, no testimonials, no case. Aside from my own, no case studies, but I'll tell you why it worked. And that's why I'm going through these 3 things first. Jeannie, when you market to everyone, yeah. So, yeah, kind of, Kaylee, yeah. So people have a lot of options when they buy stuff online. And when people are giving you their money, in the space of education, okay, let me rephrase this. Why do people pay money for education? Because that's informational products, online courses is education, right? To solve a problem, yeah. Yeah, to solve a problem. And sometimes that problem is, well, if you look at it like universities, why do people invest in universities? Like, really, what is the freaking point? Well, they believe that if they invest in a degree and they invest their time and they invest their money, they will have a better future, make more money, have a better paying job, have more security, right? And so people are looking to solve specific problems. And if you are going really, really broad, the problem with that is that there's a lot of other people on the market that are solving their problems. And pretty much if you are brand new to the market, and you have 0 case studies, 0 testimonials, you're a fresh face, why would someone buy from you over someone like Billie Jean or Dan Henry, I don't know, John Loomer, like anyone else on the market who has a shit ton of credibility and authority and anything like that. And so we're not talking about your mom here or your sister or your friend. They don't count. They don't count. Why would a cold audience, so someone that's never heard of you before, buy from you to get you to solve their specific problem or a problem that they have. If you're just going really, really broad about it, and there's lots of other people in the market that can solve super broad problems like that, right? Is that making sense? I'm going to go deeper into this. We're going to play some exercises, okay? So, well, hey, nothing against Ty, man. I've never met the guy, but clearly he knows what he's doing. So, but yeah, he's not like, wouldn't want to share this cup of tea with him. Okay, so let's play some exercises then to get you guys to think about that and digest that. So I was saying Facebook ads for entrepreneurs, and this is the biggest mistakes most people do. They're going, I'm going to launch a YouTube course, or I'm going to launch a Facebook ads course, or I'm going to launch give me some other ideas. What courses are you guys thinking of launching? And or have you heard about? So if you don't want me to pick on you or anything like that. More than 10. Fitness courses. I'm going to sell a fitness course. Fitness course. Do you know how many amazing fitness influencers are already in the market right now with not millions, I'm exaggerating, with thousands of testimonial videos and before and after shots? Like, why would someone buy from you, right? So we're going to use that one. Let me write that one down, actually. Fitness course. So we'll go through a couple and do some exercises here. Rapid business growth course. Rapid business growth course. Yeah. What does that even mean? That's like the name of my thing. Rapid Fire Empire. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, gosh. Okay. Facebook ads that really convert. That really, really convert. Launching your handmade craft business. Amica, that's actually good. We can refine that one even more though. So yours is going from like how to launch your business or your online business to launching your handmade craft business, which all of a sudden you're targeting a very specific niche of individuals. Fitness course for busy mom right now. Okay, and we'll do like, what's another one? I don't know what POD e-com is. We'll do a Facebook one, and then we'll also do a business growth one. Oh, well, we have the rapid fire business. Okay, so let me explain to you what happened in between my first program and then with a successful launch, and then we're going to go through and roll out some of these exercises and think about how this could apply to you guys, okay? So that was my first course, Facebook ads for entrepreneurs. Totally bombed. I think I did that one on Teachable. Reminds me I need to cancel that subscription. I'm really bad with SAS stuff. Like, I pay for stuff from like 4 years ago that I've never used. So I did that one, and it wasn't really good. And then what happened as a consequence, what happened in my life, I got really deflated. And I remember when I did the launch and I sold to like 3 people, I specifically remember being in the kitchen. My mom was visiting at the time from Canada, and my sister was also there because my baby was quite young, so they were visiting my kids. And I was in tears, like I was crying, and I just felt completely defeated. I was like, I've just spent all this money. And to me, the reason I was so upset wasn't really because I had lost the money, because, yeah, that sucks. But what it was more than anything was like this dooming feeling of like, oh my God, is this me the rest of my life? Like, am I going to be one of those people that spins her wheels and will never be successful? Am I one of those statistics that the asshole people talk about that shouldn't even be allowed to say to a new entrepreneur? How, like, I don't know what the stats are, but like, 80, whatever they say, 80% of new businesses fail in their first year. I don't know, some stupid shit like that, right? I was like, am I the 80%? Am I going to be the 80% my whole life? And the worst thought of it all was, going, okay, well, I thought I had the expertise. I thought I knew how to run Facebook ads. I thought I knew all of this. I've invested in a beautiful program. Like, the videos are amazing. The content is great. So I have all the ingredients. So here I was thinking, well, this must just be down to luck then, which was the most depressing idea ever, because luck is almost out of your control, right? You don't control luck. And so I was extremely deflated, and I just remember I was crying in the kitchen. And I kind of put things on pause for a while there because it had taken me so much work and nothing had come to fruition. What happened then was that for those of you that know me through the academy, you'll know my story of my agency there. And my agency started to succeed. So I started to turn my agency around. And a lot of that was mindset work as well. And what happened was I was part of the Power Hitters group, which is John Loomer's group. And there's a lot of freelancers in there and agency owners. And people started to reach out to me because they could see I was like hiring, and they could see I was like asking for consults, or I was growing. They could see I was growing really quickly. And so people started to message me going like, hey, what are you doing? Like, how are you landing these clients? What's going on? And I started to help a couple agency owners and freelancers. And it got to a stage where it was actually starting to burn me out a little bit doing that. As much as I wanted to help, it was starting to take up a lot of my time. And so then that's when I revisited the idea of an online program, and I had obviously learned about high ticket programs. And I thought, okay, you know what? I can roll this out as a group program, and that will save me time, because I can basically take a group of freelancers or agency owners at once, and instead of like having a one-on-one call with one person and then repeating the same exact thing to a second person and then repeating the same thing, I can leverage my time and I can do a group program. And that's where the academy was born. And I'm not going to go into the academy or what blah, blah, blah. You guys don't need to know that. That's irrelevant. But the difference between that and the first program that I had, and so FATC had been ticking along in the background at that stage, and it wasn't really doing much, to be honest. But when I launched the academy, the singular difference here was it was actually twofold. So the first one that we're going to do exercises about, and then I'll talk to you about the other last part and the last reason why my first course didn't work. And it was that I was talking to a very specific group of individuals. I all of a sudden knew who my audience was. It was Facebook freelancers who were fed up of being capped at the sort of 10K a month mark, and they couldn't scale. Like, they had been trying to build an agency, they've gotten themselves to 10K, but they just didn't know how to get themselves past, and agency owners. So it was very, very, very specific niche. And what happens when you know who your specific audience is, or a specific problem that you solve, is you can get extremely specific with the solution that you are offering or the solution that they're after, all right? So let's play some examples here so that you guys get this concept, that you understand it, okay? So fitness, we just had someone say fitness. So which one do you think is more effective? Option A, how to get in shape this summer, 12-step program. I don't know, I'm making this shit up on the fly, okay? So it's not the flashiest thing, right? How to get in shape this summer, 12-step program on how to get in shape this summer. Option B, how to get rid of your after baby, whatever, love handles in less than 4 weeks or whatever. Which option do you think is going to be more effective? For sure. Why, though? Why? Right? Yeah, it's not only is it speaking to if you're talking to someone about their baby weight, you're talking to moms, right? So already you have a very specific audience, and it's a specific problem. Like, yes, everyone, pretty much if you're a female on this planet, you're always trying to freaking lose weight, right? We're always on fucking diets. It's the most annoying thing ever. But everyone wants to be in shape. Everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to be healthy. But we have specific problems that we want to address as well, right? So when you go on YouTube and you're trying to get yourself, let's say you're a guy and you're trying to get yourself like, I'm totally out of my comfort zone here because I don't know anything about men's exercises, but biceps or something like that. Are you going to go on YouTube and Google exercise? Or are you going to Google bicep exercise curls or whatever you call it? Get bigger. You're probably going to YouTube bigger bicep exercise or Arnold Schwarzenegger biceps exercise. You'll Google that. You're not going to Google exercise, right? You're going to Google a specific thing that you know you want to address on your body or that you want to fix on your body. So again, it's not because you guys are probably sitting here going, yeah, but I've seen courses that say, you know, fitness. Yeah, that's the point. That's what I'm saying to you. When you have your follower base and your brand, you can do that shit. Like those influencers that have 2 million followers, they get away with it because they have an audience. They have credibility. They have authority. It works for them. It works if you have a brand name. It doesn't work if you're new to the market. People will choose someone else. It won't speak to them. So the only way to cut through, guys, is to speak to a specific problem and a specific audience, a specific person. All right, let's do another example. The business growth. So which one's going to work better? Option A. How to, okay, wait, let me have a think about this one. Hold on. Okay, let's do an e-com one because I'll have a think about this one. Let's do an e-com one. Option A, how to increase your e-com average order value to 4 times without costing it more money. Or option B, how to increase your e-com sales. Yeah, for sure. Because even though it doesn't say who it's talking to, like, I don't know if you guys picked up on that, it's talking to a specific audience. Yeah? Who's it talking to? Well, obviously, people that have a problem about AOV are existing e-commerce owners, right? They're not brand new. They're not biz ops people going like, ooh, I think I want to start an e-com store. They don't even know what AOV means, or they don't even have that problem yet. So even though it doesn't sound like it, even that headline, you have a very specific audience, existing e-commerce store owners, and their specific problem could be average order value. And that is a very big pain point. And that is something people will pay for to know, like, how do I solve this, right? I'm selling $15 products and my ads cost me $15 just to make a sale. So I need to increase my average order value to make this profitable for me. So that is a specific problem. If we look at Facebook, for example, like if we took the example of what I did, where I was like, Facebook ads for entrepreneurs, which option is better? Option A, Facebook ads for entrepreneurs, or option B, Facebook ads for your dental clinic, or even better, how to get 100 leads a month for your dental clinic from Facebook ads. C, yeah, yeah, I kind of threw in, yeah. You guys are getting it, right? It's making sense? Now, here's an objection that I get a lot because we work with coaches and people that sell online courses in the agency, because I decided to, after launching my programs, I decided to specialize in that as one of our niches. And one of the objections we get when we have coaches that come to us and they're being so broad, and you can tell it's not going to work because the ads don't work. Nothing's working. So even though you can just tell looking at the data, this is never going to work for you. And so one of the objections that we get a lot of the times is people say to us, so for example, if we take the Facebook ad example and we were working with a coach that was selling a Facebook ads course. And the coach said, well, I can help way more people than dental clinics. I don't want to just work with dental clinics. That's not the end of the world, guys. Here's what's really important. This is what you need for your funnel. Is the idea, okay, let me rephrase this, okay? The content that you would give a dentist on how to generate 100 leads per month, would it pretty much be the same or similar content to a gym or a chiropractor or a med spa? Obviously, there would be something, if you're giving funnels, the funnels would have to be different. But would the principles of pixels and all of that be the same, of funnels? Yeah, right? The content would basically be the same thing. So you're not having, you don't have to think about it like, oh my God, I have to bucket myself into this and I'm going to be known as like this dental Facebook marketer for the rest of my life. No, that's your funnel. Your funnel needs to be like that. And it can lead to the same membership site that you then funnel gym owners or chiropractors or other people through, even entrepreneurs, right? But the funnel itself, your messaging that you put out there has to be specific. And it has to speak to a specific person, okay? That's really, really important. And then you can, and I would recommend you build it out one at a time. So knock one out of the park first and then go and build your other ones because otherwise you're just all over the place and it's just gonna be a hot mess. And this is also why you rapid fire test first. So we ran a training on this like 3 weeks ago or something like that. If you're in FATC, you have access to it, or the academy. But rapid fire testing is a method that I developed. Well, I don't think I invented it, but I haven't seen anyone else use it necessarily. And it allows you to figure out which one do I go after first. The gyms, the doctors, the chiros, which one's gonna be most profitable for me before you build funnels, before you build anything in the back of that. What do they get in your Facebook group if you're not selling your course yet? I'm not sure. Is this like a general question, or are you asking me about what we're talking about now? Teaches similar things to rep. Oh, cool. People to your Facebook group. If you bring people, I'm still not following. Okay, cool. If you bring people to your Facebook group, then what do they get? Are you talking about the rapid fire group at the moment? Make a Facebook group. So disclaimer, guys, I launched the Academy, and can you guys hear me? My internet's okay. I launched my programs and I was making a lot of money before I had ad hacks the way that it was. I think ad hacks at that stage had like 600 people in it. It was tiny on the scale of what it is now. I didn't really have an email list. Maybe I had 400 people on there. And I had like maybe 400 people on my Facebook page. A lot of it were my friends or people I think that were just following me and they were just nice. And so I didn't have any of that. So that's really important for you guys to realize, like, this is not dependent. It doesn't matter if you don't have that. Here's why. I'm going to use this example, okay? And if you're in the Academy, you've heard me say this example. I'm sorry, but I love it, okay? So let's say that you are on this, okay, let's say that you have this horrible pain in your leg every single day, all right? And it starts every morning and it shoots from your foot all the way through to your knee. And it's horrible. Like, it is horrible. It's the most excruciating pain, and it lasts for about 5 minutes every single morning. And you go to the doctors, and the doctors have no idea, and they're telling you it's your diet or to just take it easy, stop jogging, and no one can help you fix it. And you're telling your friend this on the corner of a street, and you're telling him, you know, hey, I have this pain every morning. It starts in my foot. And this homeless guy overhears you, and he stinks of alcohol, and he looks like shit, like he hasn't showered in like 2 months, and he reeks, and he's disheveled, and he's like, hey man, is that the pain that comes up from your foot to your knee? And you're like, yeah, that's the pain. And he's like, is it the one that like, it's like a shooting pain and it lasts about 5 minutes? And you're like, yeah. He's like, is it every morning? He's like, yeah. And he says, I had that too. Here's how I solved it. Would you listen to him? Despite the fact that he smells of alcohol, he reeks, he's got zero credibility. Would you listen to what he has to say? Yes, he just described your problem so accurately, right? So you don't need testimonials. You don't need any of that stuff as long as you nail that pain point on the head in such great detail. Versus if he said to you, if he came up to you and said, oh man, are you in pain right now? Do you want me to help you? What would you say to that? You'd be like, get the fuck away from me, right? No, you wouldn't say it like that. You'd be like, oh, I'm okay, you know? How would you approach a young billionaire to manage his Facebook ads without having, I don't know, I'd probably wear a low-cut top. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I would just, with zero testimonials, I mean, I would offer to do it for free if you have zero experience. But if you're experienced then and you've got results, then you should be able to talk about something, right? That language, when you're so immersed in what you do. Yeah, for sure. It's one of the hardest things, right? To get your, and that is what we see with our clients. And those of you that work with coaches will know that sometimes they come out with some of the most like weird fucking beautiful copy. It's like a poem, but it will never work. It's not, it's not direct response. It will never work. It's not talking to the pain points, right? So yeah, for sure. That is one of the most important things, getting your messaging, your direct response. If you don't have to, how can you frame your results? Okay, so now we're getting on to point 3 on why things didn't work for me necessarily. And so everything was kind of like stacked, right? It was all these things. I didn't know how to sell at first. I wasn't specific. I wasn't specific at talking to a specific audience, and I wasn't talking about specific pain points. The third part of that is that when you do talk about specific pain points to a specific audience, here is where shit gets real fucking heavy and real, all right? And if you don't do this, guys, it doesn't matter what you do. People will see through you. You might make some sales, but it's not going to be an integrity. And also, you may get found. Yeah, you may get. It's not going to be good. You're not going to. It's not a good situation. Let's just put it this way. So here's the kicker: if you are speaking to someone about, let's say, you are saying how to get 100 leads for a doctor's clinic per month, you shouldn't be fucking saying that unless you have gotten 100 leads for a doctor at some stage in your life. Like, you shouldn't be teaching people how to do that shit if you don't know how to fucking do it, right? It's such common sense, but yet I feel like on the market nowadays, this is like the biggest thing, and why coaches have such a bad reputation. Like, it's become such a sleazy type of industry nowadays because of the shit out there, right? Like, is that just me, or have you guys? Okay, so I'm not saying you need to have had you need a testimonial from a client saying like, oh, John got me 100 leads and I'm so happy. But if you don't know how to get 100 leads for a doctor and you've never done that, don't fucking say that. If you've only gotten 52 leads, say 52 leads. Like, don't say 100. You have to be in integrity. And so that comes down to the credibility and authority component. People will not buy from you. So people are trying to solve a specific problem, right? They're trying to either increase their financial situation, help their marriage, get in shape, feel better about themselves, get over depression, whatever that might be. They have a specific problem that they want to get rid of and that they want to solve. And so when they're in the consideration phase, so they become aware of this problem, right? And they become aware that this is something that needs solving. We're talking about a marketing funnel here, awareness, consideration, acquisition. And so when they go into the consideration phase of looking at what options do I have to solve this problem, am I going to go get liposuction? Am I going to work out? If I work out, how am I going to work out? Do I go to the gym? Do I do it at home? Blah, 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 blah. You know, when they're in that consideration phase, they're going to look at you, and they're not going to give you their money if you don't have credibility or authority behind you. Okay? So I'm going to give you some strategies to help you with this for those of you that don't have credibility or authority, because I didn't have any case studies of agency owners that had I had me. So that's okay. So here's what I'm getting at, guys. You don't need testimonials. You don't need case studies from other people, but you should have those results for yourself if that's the case. If you don't have that, you shouldn't fucking teach it, basically. End of. You shouldn't teach it. Or if you desperately want to teach it, go teach it for free to a few people first, like guinea pigs. It's hard sometimes because when people get stuff for free, they don't apply it as much, but find some really motivated, high D on the DISC personality thing, personalities that you can run free things on, and then get case studies or results, okay? But you should never teach something that you haven't done for someone else or yourself. And also, if you don't think it's replicatable, meaning if your business, if you're, like, let's say I launched my online program and I was really successful and I was like, amazing. But then I was like, honestly, I have no fucking idea how I did that. Like, I feel like it was just luck, you know? I shouldn't teach that, right? That's out of integrity, because how am I going to teach that if I don't know how I did it? So it should be something that you feel it can be replicated to other people, all right? Now, if you only have yourself as a case study, what you have to do is you have to build your authority, your personal authority, so people trust that what you're saying, that, hey, this is what I've done, is actually the truth. Now, depending on the industry that you're in, there's going to be a lot of different ways to do that. So if you're in fitness, that's pretty simple. It's before and after shots, like right away. Yes, I know Facebook has issues with that, but you know, right away people will be able to see, like, oh my God, Kat used to be 400 pounds and now she's whatever, you know? So yes, she obviously knows how to lose weight. And so there's going to be different authority indicators that you can use depending on the industry that you're in. If it's something kind of tricky, like it's an intangible thing, so you're in the service space maybe, and things are a little bit intangible, what you can do is use, you can still use physical, visual cues. So if you have a team, if you've built a team, take people through your office, show them your team. Show them you're not talking smack, like you actually have a team, right? That will go miles towards helping build your authority. Another thing that you can do is getting yourself published. This helps a lot. People have like this insane amount of trust on publications like Entrepreneur or Inc., even though when you actually get to know how those things work, you realize it's not, it's really not that flash to be published on them. But most people don't realize that. Most people go like, oh my God, this person was published on Inc. magazine. They must be like the smartest thing since like sliced cake, HuffPost. It's not that fucking hard to get published on them. Here's the thing. Most people are too lazy to try to even look into it or put something together or even start putting something together and then outsourcing an editor to help them polish it up and then submitting it in. If you have money, you can actually invest and get it paid. Like you can literally pay to play on those platforms. If you don't have money, I didn't have money. I didn't pay to play initially. What I did was I wrote some articles around Facebook. It'd be really interesting to pull out the first one that I wrote actually. The first one that I wrote was, I think it was Entrepreneur magazine. I'll pull it out. Anyways, it was something like Facebook ads are not dead. I don't know. I kind of see it swimming around sometimes actually. I think it's like a boosted post in our funnel still. And so it was a listicle article that I wrote. I spent about 2 weeks editing it and writing it, and then I submitted it in, and I touched base and I touched base and I touched base, and they published it one day. And I didn't have a budget for that. I didn't pay for that. So were you a successful agency? Yes. But the article wasn't about that, and they wouldn't have known that either. Just out of a job. Oh man. So, I mean, reach out to get resourceful, right? There's lots of people that need help in groups everywhere. So if you have a skill, just go out and put yourself out there and say, hey, I just lost my job. I'm looking for someone that needs help with their stuff. Anyone want to tide me over? Yeah, Kaylee, I was quoted in Success. Yeah, and so you can use those kinds of things as credibility indicators. Another thing which is even more powerful than that, like even more powerful than that is, and that's not going to be for everyone because obviously it takes a certain personality to be able to do this, but speaking, getting a shot of yourself speaking or presenting is one of the most powerful authority building things. Because people go, whoa, someone has trusted this person to go in front of a room at some stage, or this person has filled up a room, so people trust them to some level. And so even if it's a fucking meetup, you know, meetups, do they do that in the States? Like get your bestie who's really good at Instagram shots or something, I don't know. Bring him along, go to a marketing meetup, get in touch with the people that run it and go, hey, I'd love to present 1 week that you're doing it. I'd love to, I'm really skilled in this. This is my expertise. I'd love to present. Would you be open to it? And they love that shit, right? Because they're always trying to find new people to present every week. And then get someone to take a photo of you. Like make sure it's a good shot, you know? And that will build so much authority. You can use that in your ads. You can use that in your funnel. You can use that everywhere. So you need to have authority. People are not going to give you money. Does this make sense? Would you pay someone money if you felt like they were full of shit? Like, how do you know if someone's full of shit, right? So you guys buy courses, right? Or you buy stuff online. And you know that there's a lot of scammers out there. So how would you know? Well, you're going to look for cues, right? Have they been published? Have they been in front of people? Do they have testimonials? Do they have case studies? Do they have images of their actual team or whatever they're pretending or saying that they can do? And you're not stupid. Like you're not going to just give your credit card details to someone you've literally just seen an ad for and gone, oh yeah, okay, well that sounds good. I'm going to learn how to grow to $1 million a year because you just said that I could, you know? Yeah, I don't know if the whole Lamborghini thing works. I haven't personally tried it, but I know it works for some people. You know what? Actually, I lie. We know it works. It's so sad. Yes. I'm not even going to say that to you guys because I feel like that's like icky. But we did have a client who was like a Lambo poser, so always posing in front of Lambos and Ferraris and private jets, and the click-through rates were really good. And he wasn't like a good-looking guy or anything like that. So, but you know the funny thing, it only works in the States. If you do that in Australia or New Zealand, it doesn't work. But Americans, yeah, you guys are really into that. I haven't done it, and I don't think it's something I want. But if you're comfortable with it, it actually kind of works, yeah. But I think it's only going to carry you so far. Like maybe the private jet would work a little bit better, but you can pretty much, like, depending where you live in the world, like you can pretty much take a photo in front of a Lambo on the street, and it doesn't have to be your Lambo. So I think people would still be digging around, right? Okay. All right, so does this make sense, guys? Is this like, for those of you that have tried to roll out your own programs before, is this starting to click? Are you starting to see maybe why things didn't work out? This is like, okay, this is like the foundations, right? And like the foundation of that foundation is your mindset. So I'm going to share with you guys that video that I promised you guys, but the foundation of that foundation is your mindset. So just to be super, super clear, you can still have all of those things lined up and it may not work, and that's usually because you are fucking repelling shit. You have some stories that you're still dealing with, and it doesn't matter who you fucking hire in this world to launch your programs or what you do until you address that shit, none of it is going to work, right? So that's super, super important. But then above that, there are those three foundations that are really, really important. So you need to speak when you're brand new to the market, find a specific audience and a specific problem that you're going to solve, and build authority and credibility for yourself. There's a lot of ways to do that. I hope I gave you guys some good ideas around that. And then rapid fire test things before you go and roll shit out. Save yourself a lot of money and a lot of heartache, okay? All right, so the reason that I wanted to bring you guys this training is I kind of mentioned before that a few months ago I had rolled out Rapid Fire Empire. So this was happening because I was getting asked specifically from Academy students around, you know, they're wanting to launch their own stuff, and I knew that if I was going to do that, it was going to have to be kind of in a group situation as well, just so I could leverage my time. And then Bear, the product that my sister and I are rolling out, got in the way. So we refunded everyone and canceled it. So I'm in a position now where I'm ready to start showing you guys the step-by-steps. So what we've spoken today about is the foundations. And we've kind of covered them briefly. There's still a lot to go into. I think someone mentioned here something like messaging. It's one thing to say your messaging, speak to a specific person and a specific problem, but when you actually go down and try to do that, it's a whole nother story, right? It's a lot more difficult a lot of the times to actually apply that, get outside of your head. It makes so much sense to you sometimes that it's hard to see that the stuff you're putting out there is still too bland or it's not going to work. Or you try to get too flamboyant with shit and then it kind of backfires with you. So, so we've kind of touched on those foundations. But here's the thing. When we work with clients inside of the agency, and when I roll out funnels for myself or for clients or anything like that, there's a process that we go through. So the first thing that we look at is we look at the messaging mindset foundation, but messaging is the first thing that we do. And then we do rapid fire testing rounds. So we validate the concept and we validate the audiences first. Once we have that, then we decide on the funnels. So what price point are you going to be at? Are you going to be a high ticket program? Are you going to be a low ticket program? Are you going to be a membership program? There are pros and cons to every single one of those. And the decision really relies and depends ultimately on the kind of lifestyle that you want. Because each one of those is going to have a different implication in the amount of time that's going to be required from you. For example, memberships, amazing recurring revenue, right? So much less stress. However, you have to create new shit every month. Like that's the expectation, right? So there's pros and cons. And then what price point do you come in at? What is going to work with the funnels that are out there? A bit of a disclaimer as well. There's probably hundreds of funnels out there. I've probably only worked with about 20 of them that successfully. So I don't, I'm not going to, if you're like thinking of rolling out like a 7-step, 5-day challenge to go, I don't know those fucking funnels. So what I'm teaching you is just the stuff that I know that works and the stuff that I've worked with clients and myself. Okay. So just disclaimer here. So if you come in with any like fancy funnels that I've never encountered, I'll just tell you like, look, roll this one out instead. So choosing the funnel and the price point is really, really important. And then from there, what you need to do as well is, this is not for everyone either, but someone mentioned the Facebook group, for example. So your marketing, so your Facebook ads, your YouTube ads, your Facebook groups, your email lists, your bots nowadays. Our Facebook group, Facebook Ad Hacks, is one of our biggest marketing channels for my business. And And I want to show you guys how I grew my group. And I know that I know how to grow groups because I've helped 2 other people grow bigger groups than I have. In fact, Eminent, who has a spiritual group out there, her group is, I think, like 3 times the size of Ad Hacks, using the same exact strategies. So I'll show you guys exactly how to grow that so that you are not entirely reliant on Facebook advertising, because as much as I'd love to just teach you Facebook ads all the time, the reality is there's lots of ways to bring in traffic into your funnels and potential customers and leads. And then beyond that, here's the thing that I never got and that I had to discover on the fly is I had no fucking idea how to manage all of this once it got going. So I made sales and I was successful. And then I was in a position where I was like, oh shit, like how do I manage my sales team? What's the commission? What is this? Like, how do you put community managers across this? How do you manage support questions? How does this happen? And I had to figure a lot of that shit out on my own. I asked peers in the industry as well. But a lot of that I figured out on my own through trial and error. So I basically am going to be pulling back the curtain on my own businesses and showing you how I run things, and also how I recommend that you run things based on the structure that you're going to choose, the price point that you're going to run it at, and also the resources that you have available to you. So this is what Rapid Fire Empire is all about. So basically what we're going to be doing is taking your expertise and rolling it out as an online program to increase your revenue stream. I generated $4 million in, again, not my salary, but my salary went from, I think it was like $30,000 to 6 figures per month, which is fucking crazy. Like, I still can't even believe that. Like, how the fuck does that even happen in a year and a half, you know? It's insane, guys. Like, this is one of the biggest freaking booms out there, online programs, information. Like, if you're not jumping on, if you have expertise and you're not sharing this and helping people solve their problems, what the fuck are you doing? Wait, hold on. If you are in the midst of building an agency with me in the academy, please focus on that first. And then once you get that up and going, don't shoot too much at one time, okay? Hold up, yeah. If you are in the midst of building something right now, that's cool. But if you're not, then what the fuck are you doing? Really, this is a huge boom. If you have expertise, if you can help people solve their problem, like, it is your duty to do that, right? And then you deserve to be compensated and to grow as a result. And the growth that are possible through online programs, it's insanity. And all it is diversifying your risk. It's creating another income stream. And maybe in 2 years' time, it gives you the opportunity, for me personally, having the income that I have now is allowing me to invest in property to further diversify my risk, so that I'm not only reliant on Facebook, or I'm not only reliant on things that rely on marketing. I have my revenue and my income diversifies. It allows me to look at other business opportunities. Like, we're launching a new business now, and I'm not bootstrapping it like I have been my whole life, which is so freaking annoying. I hate launching businesses when I'm bootstrapping. And I'm finally in a position where I can actually give a startup the money that it needs without having to go beg for investors or anything like. It is a game changer. And I'm not saying money will make you happy. That's not at all what I'm saying. But it definitely opens opportunities in life, okay? It opens opportunities. And if you structure things properly, which I want to help you do as well, it will free up your time as well, so you can create some of that freedom that we all want. Does that sound good? Who's excited? Yes, amazing. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do all of this, guys, within an 8-week sprint, okay? So it's going to be intense. It is going to be fucking intense, not gonna lie. This is why I'm saying, if you're in the midst of building something else right now, may not be the best idea. I know personally when I'm all over the place, I drop the balls, okay? So this is gonna be Rapid Fire Empire. We officially kick off next week on the, is it the 5th? The 5th, Monday the 5th of February. So it's officially going to kick off on the 5th of February. When you sign up today or whenever you sign up this week, so enrollments close on Saturday. So what I'm doing for the first lot is exactly what I'm going to teach you guys to do. I'm basically selling it in. We're going to do 8 weeks together. And then after that, I'll open it up as an ongoing evergreen thing. But for now, enrollments close on Saturday. That's it. And then we'll do 2 months together in an 8-week sprint. And when you sign up, you will get access immediately to the membership portal. There is a project that I need you guys to get started on right away. And also a welcome video, and then you'll have access to the private group. Now, here's why, for those of you that are interested in rapid fire, you guys should be signing up for this round and not waiting in 2 months' time. For this round, we are going to have weekly Q&A calls together, live. So every week, every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So on Mondays, I'll release the training. I expect you guys to implement it or at least go through it. And then on Wednesdays, you can ask me any question. We can go through your funnels. You can see what other people are doing, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to be involved in the program as heavily supporting you. After the 8 weeks, I'm not going to be involved because I personally want to have businesses that are not taking up more of my time. I'm trying to leverage my time these days. That's my personal goals in my life. So this round, you will have me. After 8 weeks, it will just be all the replays of the support calls. So I won't be doing those live calls anymore as well. And we also have a special intro price. So you can get, we are, I need to see the thing. Yeah. So I think the landing page is called rapidfireempire.com. And it's an 8-week sprint, guys. Pulling back the curtain on my business. We're going to roll out your own program. You can get started for the launch price, which is $297. That's going to go up to $1297 after the initial sprint. So if you are wanting to roll out this business, if you are serious about an online program, now is the fucking time to get in, basically. Oh yes, and only 150 people because I want to keep it as intimate as, I don't want it to be too big, okay? Because I don't want those calls to get too crazy. So 150 people, enrollments close on Saturday, first come, first serve. I'm taking out the checkout page as soon as it's gone. And yeah, and as soon as you sign up, you will have access. So let me see if we've had any questions come through. Jai. You're like, $297 for the academy? So the URL is Rapid Fire Empire. Let me put it down here. Let me just double check I did that right. Yeah, it is. Okay, let me put as well. So, Delicia, am I saying that right? What are we looking at in terms of investment? I mean, honestly, what we recommend our clients is $1,000 to $2,000, and I would be silly not to say more, okay? Now, do you have to have that in one hit? No. So you can spread that out over the 8-week sprint, but if you only have like $200 on your ads, it's not doable. It's just you're going to have to get a lot more resourceful in terms of how you get traffic. So I'll talk to you guys about some ways to do that. But definitely if you have budget for ads, you're going to validate your shit a lot faster for sure. Okay, cool. So who's in, guys? Hands up. Kevin, whoa, what's up, my man? Jessica, Anna, Jane, site is not loading. Wait, I promised you guys this thing as well. So let me share this in the comments. Oh, and I'm live, so let me share on this page too, rapidfireempire.com. Okay, so here is the link for it. So this is a really cool thing. Elizabeth, rapidfireempire.com. Taylor, yes! One-time payment, yeah. I know. I know. Michael, I don't know if you're still on the call. How much did I sell it for when I first launched it? It was like $1,200, right? It was 3 payments of $1,200. And then I was like, you know what, fuck it. But I did offer a mastermind as part of that, which I just don't have time for right now. So I was like, I'm gonna get an exclusive launch price through, and then we'll get, you know, the people in, and that's it. Okay, so this, I'm sharing this link here, guys. This is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and FYI disclaimer, I'm not trying to teach us shit here. I'm just sharing with you guys. If you guys are in the academy, you know that I am big on mindset stuff. So whenever you join the academy, one of the first videos is mindset. Like, we actually go through that a lot. And what I tell you in the academy is to write your goals down, and write them down on a piece of paper and review them every single morning. And what I used to do is I used to have vision boards, and I also have, let me show you actually. I have a whiteboard with my goals on them and my house, my dream house that I want, pinned to it. And every morning when I get out of my bedroom, I can see it. And every night before I go to bed, I can see my board. And when I'm in my kitchen, I can see it as well. And I also do journaling. So I meditate and I do journaling and all of that. And it's been so effective for me that I have to basically refresh my boards. I don't do vision boards anymore because my printer doesn't work. I just stopped working. Like my computer, I'm really bad with tech, and I can't figure out how to connect my computer to my printer for like the last 8 months. So I haven't been able to do vision boards because I've needed to refresh it. So I've done a whiteboard, and I need to basically refresh this one every 6 months. That's how insane this mindset stuff works. But Dr. Joe Dispenza, he got me onto something else, which was even more, the same concept, but using technology. So I'm gonna put that link here for you guys. And basically what this means is you have it on your phone instead, and it's you all the time. So take a moment to go through that. That is one of your first projects when you join Rapid Fire Empire, because as I said, your mindset is the foundation for everything, guys. It really, really is. Okay, so let me go and see if we have any questions on Facebook. Stay golden. Yeah. Did you guys find this helpful, this training? Because that was my main aim, though. Like, I'm good. Yeah, because I remember I took so many courses. And yeah, they did talk about like how it was like this weird thing. Like, you know, have you ever heard people say like, ask your audience, ask your audience? But it wasn't like, it didn't click properly the way that I think what they were trying to say was like, ask your audience so that you can get the direct response. But one of the things I've realized is that when you ask your audience as well, you get a lot of fucking vanilla answers that leads you down like completely wrong track. So that was one of the things as well that okay, so let's see who we have. All right, so who's in, guys? Any questions as well? Kaylee, what's up? I'll repost it. Just reposted it, guys. Just redid it now. Yeah. Okay, so I can't, holy shit. Whoa, we've got quite a few people. So, wow. All right. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna be full before the end of the week. Jason, yes, yeah. I mean, Jason, this is for you, right? You and I have been talking about this for a while. I know. So this is gonna work well for you, Jason. Amazing, Steven, woo! Okay, so just a reminder, guys, whatever we hit first, 150 people, I can see here there's about, I can't even count, but there's a shit ton of people already. So if we hit 150 people or Saturday, so either way, doors close on Saturday, or the first 150 people, Kim, are you wanting the mindset stuff, or let me just do it. Okay, so it's Rapid Fire Empire, guys. First 150 people, otherwise on Saturday, doors close. When you sign up, there's going to be an email sent to you to request to join the private Facebook group. This is different to the other Rapid Fire Mindset Challenge. I changed the name of that one just so you guys can tell the difference. And then you'll have access to the membership site as well. There is your first project in there. I will be dropping the first lot of content on Monday when we get started. And then we'll have our first training call on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm fucking excited to make this work for you guys and to see you guys succeed with this. All this is about is adding an additional revenue stream in your life, diversifying your risk, I hate the word up leveling, but upgrading your personal income so that you have more opportunities in life. Like, that's the aim. That's the whole point, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing, and I'm basically going to be showing you behind the scenes of how we run Academy, and you will be shocked. You will be shocked because I don't think people realize, like, our funnels are fucking messy. We have ugly landing pages, ugly everything, and yet it's made $4 million in a year and a half. So case in point, to everyone that bags my brand, it's like that shit does not matter. What matters is you nailing your messaging, and that's what we're really gonna fucking nail with you guys. And the rest of it is like technicalities. I'll show you the funnels, the structures, all of it, so you can get off on the best foot. And the aim, evil plan, evil long-term plan is that you guys hit your 50K to 100K goals, and then we do a mastermind together, like in Sedona or something, like a 3-day retreat where we all get together and we take turns to share the problems we're having in our business. And you basically have like this board of directors, of peers, advising you on how to address it, and obviously I'll be there too. So that's the evil long-term plan. You guys are hitting those 50 to 100K revenue income targets that you have, and then we all meet up this year as a mastermind and connect together. All right, so it's rapidfireempire.com. John, what's up? Hey. Yes. Well, Academy, there you go. Diversify again, right? Another business. Book a date for Sedona. I should lock it in. I'll be in Burning Man in August, so maybe we can do something then, because I'll be in the States. Not US, it's hard to apply for a visitor visa. Well, that or Bali or Thailand would be cool, I think. But I don't know if Americans, is Bali too far? Too far. Iceland. All right, we'll figure that out. We'll do a poll anyways, okay? So that doesn't matter. First things first, get yourself in there before it sells out or before we close the doors. I don't think there's any more questions, guys. So I'm gonna, weekly Q&As will get a replay, and also Anthony, that's why we have the private group, so that if you, for whatever reason, can't join, you can ask me a question in the group. Do you already have a course to sell? No, you don't have to have a course at all. In fact, that's my point is, some of you will have courses because you've tried to before, but you'll probably find a lot of those guys will have to remake their courses once they go through Rapid Fire Empire. So it's better in a way if you don't have a course, because I don't want you to build a course till you know how to sell the course, till you have students. Kind of like what we're doing here, right? I don't have my course built. It's all in here, and I'm gonna hustle my ass off and get the content to you guys. But I wasn't gonna spend 2 months building this if I didn't know if you guys wanted it, right? That would just be silly. But now I know you guys want it. Now I'm gonna hustle, and I'm gonna make it happen for you guys, okay? All right, guys, so thank you so much for joining me on this training. I hope it's been really valuable. I'll send out a replay. Make sure you go through that mindset stuff. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. And obviously, full credits to him. And any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, everyone. I'll repost it. There we go. Dr. Joe Dispenza. By the way, that's why I was in Spain a week ago. If you have not heard of him, please do yourself a favor and check the guy out. He's got lots of YouTube videos and just pretty spot on. We're talking about the foundation. That's the foundation. Yeah. Okay, so I've posted it. I've posted it in the comments, guys. So check out all right. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for joining me on this training. I always get super excited when technology doesn't fail me, and it's not just my mom on here with me. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your engagement and your involvement in today's training. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I really hope to see you guys inside of Rapid Fire Empire. I'll send out a replay and a notice as soon as we're about to fill up. And otherwise, take care of yourself. Happy Sunday or Monday, wherever you are in the world. See you guys later. I just have to figure out how to close this thing now because end meeting. See you guys. Bye. Bye.